So let's start with the Stock Hatch title decider between Jeff Humphries and Josh Cook. Joe Ferguson, although he was still in the hunt, electing not to take part this weekend. Before the race, let's catch up with a couple of the drivers. First of all, Paul Jarvis having his first season in the Saxo, which he drives to the circuit.
So what does this mean for you then, having to drive the car to the circuit? What do you have to change when you get here?
Not an awful lot really. You take the number plates off, you switch the wheels, you tape up your headlights and more or less ready to go.
Yeah, this is your first year then in Stock Hatch. How have you found it?
Yeah, I quite like it. I mean, I've had to spend more money than you want to, but yeah, other than that, it's not been too bad.
And you're planning to come back again to do more of it next year then, and hopefully move up the grid a bit further?
I've got the bug now.
Rob Bennett with me, a first season racer in Stock Hatch. How have you found your first year?
Well, we've had a bit of bad luck really. Car's not been that reliable and just got a bit of a fuel surge problem which we can't seem to get rid of. Just killing the power around the corners, and of course that's, it's just giving me problems and just had loads of problems with it. So yeah, could be better, but first year, so just look up for next year and see if we can get it all sorted out really.
So how did you get involved in motorsports and Stock Hatch in particular?
Well, I went to uni to do automotive technology at Staffordshire University and got involved with a little bit of marshalling there, and I've always wanted to do racing ever since I was small. Just always been talking myself out of it really, it's always too expensive and whatever, and I thought, I watched the 750 Motor Club at Mallory Park and I thought, maybe I could do it. So I started to look into it, did my yards, did my race licence and bought a car, and here we are.
Well, just the one race required for the Stock Hatches here this weekend, not a heat as we normally have. Jeff Humphries and Josh Cook, the two drivers in contention for the championship, with the drop score rule to consider. Josh Cook in very much the better position. Jeff needs to win with fastest lap, with Josh Cook 5th or lower if he's going to stand a chance of taking the title. Second is the worst that he can afford to finish. The grid lines up as follows: Josh Cook on the front row, on pole position, with Andrew Tibbs next to him. Row 2 is Patrick Fletcher and Matt Digby. Jeff Humphries only back on row 3, next to John Maybin.
So the lights go out and this championship deciding Stock Hatch race is underway. It's going to be a tall order for Jeff Humphries, as Ian was just saying. He's got an awful big mountain to climb, but as they head down into Old Hall for the first time, it looks like it's going to be Cook who holds on to the lead as the rest of the field filter their way through. We're on board with Paul Jarvis as he makes his way around Old Hall. Someone a little bit out in shape in front. Was that the C2 perhaps? And coming back across, I think that's clipped Tom Molyneux and sent him spinning onto the grass on the run down through Cascades. There you can see him rejoining, but it looks as though everyone else has got through safely as they make their way down towards Island Bend.
I think Wayne Harris in the red Saxo is one of the other drivers involved there, and it very often is frenetic as they come through Old Hall Corner. But it's Andy Tibbs here, Jack, that's got a decent lead.
It is, and it's side by side between Cook and Digby. Digby on the inside, all over the grass. That's Andrew Foley. Is he going to hit the tyre barriers there on the run down to Shell Oils? No, he's just got it stopped in time. But a massive lead, as you say, for Andrew Tibbs. Then it's Cook in second, and Digby and Humphries going side by side for third. So from 5th on the grid, Humphries already challenging for that 3rd spot.
Andrew Foley will be disappointed with that, because he's 6th in the championship standings coming into this final round of the season, and he'd certainly be looking to improve on that. But look at him go now. He's getting past there the number 65 car, that's Paul Newton's Fiesta XR2.
Indeed, so the leaders are all already going to be down to the chicane at Knickerbrook as Foley climbs his way back up through the order. He started on row 4, so he's going to be very disappointed with that. Humphries is up into 3rd position then. He's just managed to squeeze past Mac Digby at the Knickerbrook right-hander, but the top 3 really spread out at the moment, which you're not really used to seeing in Stock Hatch.
It's good news though for Josh Cook. Second would be enough for him with Jeff Humphries behind him, but Jeff has at least got up to 3rd position, having started only on row 3. But Andy Tibbs having a really good end to the season. 2 3rd places last time out at Sledstone. His best result since the 1st and the 2nd at Brands Hatch in April. And
they're going to go side by side. We've got a car from the background, didn't quite catch who that was, but it looks as though Josh Cook has made his way into the lead past Andrew Tibbs. So now what's Tibbs' tactic going to be? Is he going to try and hold up the rest of the pack? He's got Humphries right up behind him as they climb through Deer Leap. So it's Cook with a fairly reasonable advantage, and then 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th really all line astern into Old Hall.
Yeah, so 1 lap completed. It's a long lap here, 2 3/4 miles very nearly. It takes well over 2 minutes. The pole position time for Josh Cook this morning, 2 minutes 7 second lap. but he's got the lead away from Tibbs now, but Tibbs had that good lead on the first lap, so you'd think he'd be able to come back.
Yeah, I wonder if he just missed a gear coming out of Druids or something like that, because he's right back with Josh Cook now and is going through into Island Bend. So, well, Cook needs to be careful really, because he doesn't want to get embroiled in too much of a scrap. He'll have done all the maths. He'll know that second is enough as Patrick Fletcher makes his way past Matt Digby as well. So Digby losing a couple of positions, Fletcher up to fourth.
And then you've got John Mabin there in the black Citroen C2. He is in 6th position. He's looking set to be the top rookie in the championship this season. Meanwhile, of course, there's the Class B battle as well for the older cars, and it looks like Lee Scott is going to make that championship his own ahead of Sarah Niblett.
So over the crest of the hill, down towards Knickerbrook comes Andrew Tibbs. Now is Fletcher's just having to go defensive from Matt Digby a little bit as they make their way into the chicane. Tibbs has pulled out a couple of car lengths advantage once more, and now those top three starting to get away from Patrick Fletcher, and Humphreys swinging the back end out there as he rounds Knickerbrook. He knows that he's basically just got to win this race and hope Cook has some sort of problem, as it looked as though Mabin was challenging Matt Digby as well as they come past the water tower down towards Druids. But with these cars so evenly matched throughout Stockhatch, it's going to be a big ask for Humphreys to get the advantage he needs.
Well, absolutely, but very often we've seen a twist in the tail of a Stockhatch season. Jeff Humphreys winning the title last season, defeating Ryan Bensley in the final meeting. Ryan Bensley had engine problems that weekend at Snetterton, but Humphreys here right on the tail of Josh Cook, and Patrick Fletcher starting to get involved as well. The two of them running side by side through Deer Leap.
I wonder if Jeff Humphreys just gave Josh Cook a tiny tap as they came through the final corner here at Oulton Park, and that compromised the run for both of them, and Patrick Fletcher has taken advantage of that. He nips up into 3rd position, doesn't really keep all four wheels on the grass, on the track I should say. Dropping down the hill towards the left-hander at Cascades. They're still going to be side by side. Fletcher should be able to hang on to that position. They're starting to drop Matt Digby now as the rest of the field dive their way through. Terry Rouse in there a little further back. Fletcher and Humphreys have still gone side by side.
And Fletcher has got the inside line for Island Bend, and he sticks in 3rd position for the moment. It'll be interesting to see which of these drivers are back next season. We know that Josh Cook has already sampled the Renault Clio Championship, supporting the British touring cars. Jeff Humphreys is planning on taking next season off, he was telling me earlier this year, so let's see what Tibbs does and Patrick Fletcher, but they're both considering their options for next season.
Well, there are a plethora of tin top series out there, which is obviously where all these drivers want to go. If they aspired to be single-seater racers, they'd be out in something else like Formula Ford, but tin tops is clearly where these guys want to be. Same as Paul Jarvis as he comes into Britain's, taking a massive cloud of curb and then getting forced out by Andrew Foley there on the way in. So I wonder if that sound we heard was a little bit of a nudge from Foley on the way through the chicane.
Well, of course, Jarvis needs to keep that car in good nick to get it home this evening. Here is Tibbs then, ahead of Josh Cook. Fletcher now much more secure in 3rd place, ahead of Jeff Humphreys. This Stockhatch Championship has been very competitive this season. Lots of different winners and podium finishers, and there's Digby there falling a bit further back down the order, Jack.
Mabin there just has got past Matt Digby now, up into what is going to be 5th position as they round their way through Old Hall. The 3 leaders starting to drop Jeff Humphreys a little bit now. Here we've got some battles a little further back in the order. At the back of the shot there you can see Alex Hall trying to make his way past Woolley. Now this is Karen Woolley in the car this weekend. Usually it's Jonathan Woolley out in that machine, but Karen is driving this time around as she's having to fend off quite a bit of pressure from Alex Hall behind her. And then further up in front we've got the 37 car of Keith Morgan. He's coming under pressure from Bluff, isn't he, as he makes his way out towards Deer Leap and bouncing all over the grass there in that red Fiesta.
Yes, and that Fiesta belonged to, I think, Paul Newton in the 65 car. There's Paul Pereira in the white Citroen AX, and there's not too many of those left on the grid, or indeed the roads these days. There you can see Alex Hall then tucked in behind Karen Woolley, and it was a bit of a race against time to get Alex Hall's car out for qualifying and this morning in the race as well. But here come the leaders, Jack, into the final corner.
Yep, it's going to be Andrew Tibbs if he can just keep it all straightened up through Lodge Corner, up Deer Leap, and he is going to take the victory here at Oulton Park in the final round of the championship. But crucially, it's Josh Cook who takes 2nd to secure the Demon Tweaks Yokohama Stockhatch Championship for 2010. Fletcher home in 3rd, Humphreys home in 4th, and I think he's going to be a little disappointed with that. Matt Digby did get back past John Mabin there, and here comes Tom Molyneux, who was involved in that first corner incident.
Yes, he was, and he has fought his way back up the order a little bit. He's in 12th position, and it looks like he's going to take that now. He's not going to get up into 11th because Will Sargent in the 47 car has already come through. So 12th goes to Tom Molyneux. Paul Jarvis, I'm sure, will be delighted to secure his 13th position finish. Martin Foundry, the best of the Class B cars out this weekend, in 14th position, making his way through ahead of the second of the Sargents. That's Liam.
Here's Keith Morgan still coming under a little bit of pressure from Jeff Bluff as they make their way into Lodge for the final time, but he's going to be able to hold on, and then it's side by side between Woolley and Hall almost. I think Woolley's just got enough of a drive out of that final corner to cross the line and take what will be 25th position there at the end of an exciting Stock Hatch race.
So let's take a look at the results and the win for Andrew Tibbs, but the championship to Josh Cook. Patrick Fletcher was third in the gold Citroen Saxo, Jeff Humphries fourth, the outgoing champion, John Mabin fifth, because there was an exclusion for Matt Digby, which he is appealing against. Further down the order, ninth went to Terry Roughton. Andrew Foley came back to complete the top 10. Fastest lap went to Jeff Humphries, but the winner, Andrew Tibbs.
Andy, first of all, you've had a couple of third place finishes at the last meeting, but you've gone two better here. How did you do it?
Well, at Silverstone we had problems with the pistons and Morris changed them in the last couple of meetings. It's just, the engine's just been so powerful. I've just noticed a difference and it's helped a lot.
Yeah. And were you conscious there of possibly getting involved in sort of Josh's championship battle and affecting that?
I thought I'd better be a bit careful here. So, and, no, Josh did very well, very sensibly, and done it.
Well, this is the final championship order. You can see Josh Cook winning by 9 points in the end from Jeff Humphries, with Patrick Fletcher in third. Matt Digby's fifth position might well improve if his appeal is successful, and that would relegate Joe Ferguson down into fifth position. Before we go racing, an update on the situation in the Demon Tweaks Yokohama Stock Hatch Championship. Matt Digby has won his appeal. He was excluded from the Stock Hatch race here at Oulton Park this weekend, but he's now been reinstated in the results, and that means that he finishes third in the standings behind Josh Cook and Jeff Humphries.